Hello fellow mount riders and blade swingers. If you're watching this tutorial, I guess you already have seen my Mount and Blade Warband series, and now you got hooked. At least I hope that's the case. If not, watch the other tutorials first, because this game is pretty similar to Mount and Blade Warband, but not identical. In this video I will teach you every secret about the character creation, the most important skills for beginner, and, most importantly, the interesting yet complicated system of stories and nation relationship points you have to gain to actually be able to play a storyline. For this purpose, I will start a new character by clicking here, Start a New Game. But before I do this, I will turn up a bit of the music and a bit of the noise, so you can actually have some audio feedback and enjoy some music. I chose the easiest settings because this is a tutorial. We don't need any complications. I'm here to explain mechanics, not to get my ass beaten. You should always start on easy, as I have already showed you. Actually, 1 second ago I showed you. You can change the settings whenever you like, but if you start with easy, you get at least equipment that is not totally shitty. You know you want something that's not total shit. So please, for God's sake, choose easy, okay? Well, this choice is totally yours. Like in Mount and Blade Warband, you want this option. Being able to quit without saving and being able to reload whenever you want is quite important, especially for beginners. Because if you don't have this option, the game will become frustrating. You'll see why in a second. We got guns, which means quick and sudden death. A very important skill in this game, actually it's even more important than the Mount and Blade Warband, is trade. Trading is something that can give you huge amounts of money without cheating. I will show you the best wares after we did this part, okay? So stick with me a bit longer. So, pump in all the trade points, improve the charisma, so you can pump one more point. You see 3 points in trade. This is important, believe me, this will give you the edge. Prisoner management ain't that important in this game. It was more important in Warband than it is here. You will need some strength to take a punch. In this game I actually recommend focusing on Iron Flash, because every single health point is needed. And I recommend focusing on shooting from horseback, because as I mentioned, in this game there are guns, firearms, and you will shoot from horseback. At least shooting from horseback is the best tactic I can teach you. And it is exactly the tactic I will teach you in a few minutes. So it would be dumb not to put some points into shooting from horseback. You want to spam all your points in firearms and one-handed. This is more or less my actual hair color. Yeah, like this. And let's get a fancy haircut. Oh yeah. That's it, baby. My chin is more like this in real life. Lips are more like this, yeah. Let's see. Get a little bit lower. Increase the mouse size, but diminish the width. Yeah, it's more like this. Oh, and the nose brush is way too extreme. You see, with these sliders you're able to change your character's appearance. Actually quite drastically. For example with this. Yes, you can create some hideous characters, but we don't want to be too hideous, don't we? Yeah. This looks like the savior of the Polish nation, doesn't he?
Welcome to With Fire and Sword. This is a short tutorial that will guide you through your first steps in the game. Let's begin with the basics. Move your mouse to look around, and use W, A, S, and D for movement. Go to the fence ahead to proceed. That fence is blocking your way. Knock it over. You can attack in 4 different directions. Move the mouse up, down, left, or right while clicking the left mouse button. Good. Now on to defending. Defense is controlled by the right mouse button. To defend effectively with a weapon, wait for your opponent to commence his attack. That guy ahead looks like he's up to no good. You'd better use your new skills to teach him a lesson. Excellent. Looks like there's more fighting to be had. That group of adventurers seems to be expecting company.
I actually let the official tutorial talk in this section, because he explains it quite well and on point. I couldn't do it better myself. So we have to beat these scoundrels, filthy peasants. They are wild beggars, aren't they? Yeah, skip the talky talk.
Great, you have a new toy.
Finally!
Press R to switch to first-person view. This will make aiming your pistol easier. To further enhance your aim, hold down Shift to zoom in. Lastly, to line up an accurate shot, hold down the left mouse button. Wait until the reticule is smallest, then fire away. Shoot the padlock to proceed.
In this game you're able to crouch down, to actually kneel. Let me show you. You're able to actually kneel. In my case it's the Y button, but you can choose whatever button you would like to in the key bindings. And while kneeling and zooming, or in first person it's even easier, while kneeling and zooming your shots are the most accurate. So if you're on foot and want to shoot someone, this is the way to do it.
Grab yourself a horse and ride away with Monfor and his men. Get close enough to the horse until you see the word mount appear. Press F to mount up.
By the way, you reload your pistol or musket or carabine by just pushing the attack button again. See, now I'm reloading.
Wonderful, you're saddled up. Horses can be wily beasts. To control your mount, use the W, A, S, and D keys. Press W to spur the horse onward, and S to rein him in. A and D will rein the horse left and right. Riding requires some practice. Don't forget that it's easier to make tight turns if you slow down a bit.
His last sentence, the tight turn and slowing down, is quite important.
Look, more enemies on the horizon. Time to put your sword and pistol to use. You can scroll up with the mouse wheel to switch between your weapons. Now, go ahead and fight your way out, with fire and sword.
This situation is actually why I wanted you to put some points in horse archery or horse aiming. Because you see, while you ride, the targeting reticle gets bigger and actually shifts the size, and if you slow down, it becomes much more precise. My personal tip is to slow down totally, to stand still, aim and fire. You see, I got him, even from a big distance, because I was standing still and had some points in horse archery, or shooting from horse. Blah blah blah. So, I talked about skills, I talked about the character creation, I gave you some simple tips. Now let's talk about story and nation relation. To start at least one of the three main storylines, the Polish storyline, you should go to this village, where our friend is standing next to. You go directly to this village. And you talk to the village elder. In With Fire and Sword, every village menu and even the city menu has this helpful button. You don't have to go around the village and find the elder in person, you just can kinda teleport to him. And it's the same with the mayor, who actually is the guild master from Mount and Blade Warband, but with fancier clothes. If you want to start one of the quest lines, the Polish one, you should do this. Ask this. And you see, this is important. Your relationship with the Polish Commonwealth has increased from 0 to 1. In this game, you have nation relations. It's not the same as gaining faction relations in Mount and Blade Warband. It's different. Nation relationships determine whether special missions and story missions are available or not. You could befriend the King of Poland in this game and never trigger the main or one of the main storylines, because by befriending the king as an NPC, you only get faction relationship points. Polish people will treat you well because you treat the king well. But if you do certain quests and special missions, you gain nation relationship points, which has nothing to do with kings or lords, but with triggering a nation storyline. Okay? I know, it's a bit abstract, but that's the way it is. In blue, we see quest-relevant characters, such as these bandits, which are the ones we have to hunt down. Not these ones, but only the blue ones. And he actually is also blue, because he is relevant for several quests, and by him being blue you will find him easier on the map. Before we start, let's check our inventory. You see, it has changed from the tutorial. We kept the sumpter horse and the boots, but we got a better kuntush and a carabine instead of a pistol. If you choose the medium or high settings, you get a pretty crappy old pistol. while the matchlock carabine is pretty fast in his reloading speed. The speed rating is actually what determines the shot speed and the reloading speed at the same time. So if you get a gun or rifle or carabine with a high speed rating, the reload time will be faster, the shots will fly faster, everything you do with this gun is faster. So you get a fast carabine, it's pretty accurate, and the range damage ain't that bad either. While with the other pistol you would get with the other settings, you get the burst steel. And the saber is okay for a melee weapon. You don't want your man to charge them, you want your man to retreat. You want to save them for later. With backspace, you can open this map. The red dots are the enemy, the grey, brown and whatever colored dots are the friends. Just remember, you are this grey dot and the enemy is always the red ones. That's the only thing that really matters right now. Right sideways to avoid your shots and keep your distance. Stand still, aim at the guy running at you and kill him. Wait, aim, kill. They're reloading, so keep your distance, because whenever they reload, it means they will shoot soon. You see, with this simple tactic you can outmaneuver any group of enemy. As long as I have bullets and they keep running at me, and I got a horse to be on, I'm nearly invincible. Now it's time to exploit the reloading time, and escape, more or less. Yes, you see, the targeting reticle became smaller again, more precise. Oh, god damn it! Oh, thank god, I still got my inventory. Time to kill those bastards once and for all. This time, I want them to charge. Or actually, no. I want them to hold this position. The easiest way to do this is by holding F1 down and releasing it so you can give them the exact position. Alternatively, you just make sure this is checked. Make sure you got this option on, and then you can click on the map. Because if I want them to go to the edge of the map, this is the easiest way to do it. Why did I do this? I wanted them to actually distract the enemy, because the pathing of the enemy will always lead some of the enemies to my infantryman. So by doing what I'm doing right now, riding in the one direction and positioning my man at the other side of the map, at the opposite side of the map, I confuse the enemy. I confuse the AI. This is something nobody tells you, but it works. And shot in the crotch. Another easy and useful thing is now we ride at full speed, and to stop right now I have to press Ctrl and J. You see, I stopped. This can be pretty handy. And of course we rescue our man and got a small army now. Let's take them. Talk to the man again. Talk with him about the bandits. And again, you see, the relationship to the Polish Commonwealth has increased. Those are the nation relation points going up. These two are two other quests that can improve my nation relationship points. I recommend doing this because this doesn't give you headache and is a pretty cheap and easy way to get nation relationship points and start the Polish questline. This one is a bit tougher because you have to travel around the map and find the goods. And these goods can be quite expensive. So let's ride to Smolensk and talk to the Lord. To talk to a Lord, go to the fortress and talk to him. So persuasion is awfully low. I don't recommend doing this, but I recommend just paying those $200. Talk with him about the taxes, and you see, you get more nation relationship points and you advanced. Goodbye guys. See you in the next tutorial.